Hello, this is Richard Zowie once again. I'm inspired to do a video because I follow a lady, a comedian on Facebook. Her name is Laura Robbie, and she was mentioning her dealings with being on jury duty or juries in general. And it made me think about my experiences. I've never been on a jury. I would love to, but it hasn't happened yet. Let's see. Once in San Antonio, twice in San Antonio, I received a jury summons. In the 9 years I lived in Michigan, no jury summons. When I was in the service back in my early 20s, I received a jury summons, but I'm in California stationed there, so obviously I couldn't serve. And now that I've been back in Fredericksburg in Texas, I've received three jury summons. So, first jury summons in San Antonio was for a young man who brought a gun to a school. And I was, I don't remember what jury number I was. I just remember I did not get picked. And I was actually kind of in tears when I left because I really wanted to serve. Second time, it was for a man who was facing a 99-year sentence for murder. I think it was second degree. I don't remember. He, I was juror number 27 out of 120 jurors. And by the time they got to me, they asked me a couple of really quick questions, and that was it. And I ended up not getting picked. And they stopped after about 35 jurors saying, "We have who we need." They had one guy that tried to get out of it by saying that he did not want to serve because he's racist and hates everyone. One guy begged not to serve, saying, "I'm a businessman. I lose about $3,000 a day every day I'm not here," and they picked him. And I felt like saying, "Yay! I get paid even if I serve. Pick me, pick me." But no, it didn't happen. So again, 9 years in Michigan, didn't get a single jury summons, even though I lived in Lapeer County, and then Tuscola County. I guess nothing exciting ever happens in Michigan. And then I come back to Texas, go to Fredericksburg, and I received. Actually, it's been three. Let's see. The first jury summons was for an eminent domain case. And I'm actually glad I did not get picked because it was so bleeding boring. Both attorneys had a 5-minute opening argument to make to explain to us the case. Their 5-minute arguments lasted 1 hour. I'm not kidding, it was that boring. Thankfully, I was high on caffeine before I went there, and I still had a hard time staying awake. I was juror number 9, so I thought, hey, chances are I'll get picked. They get to me, they ask me what I do for a living. I figure because I do work in broadcasting, that would get me disqualified, or that I've been a journalist, I'd get disqualified. Nope, didn't make a difference. And it was, again, eminent domain. The government wanted to pay people so much money to use their land to put up telephone poles. And the lawyer for the government says, I don't remember if he knew my name or not, but he goes, "Sir, if the government wants to use eminent domain, shouldn't the person pay or receive payment for what the government's offering?" And I figured, let's just be honest. So I said, "Sir, if a person is being forced to sell property they do not want to sell, I think they have a right to ask for more." And I saw the look in his eyes, and I thought, yep, I just blew it. I'm not getting picked. Next day, they say, "We want jurors number 1, 5, 8, 12." So I realized I was not going to get picked, and that really stunk. But, what can you do? Next time I was on jury, I got picked for jury duty. The judge, who was the same judge who finalized my divorce, he was giving us a summary of what was going on. And halfway through his summary, someone comes up to him and he goes, "Okay, we just received word. They've reached a settlement. You guys can go." And then about 2 or 3 months ago, I got another jury summons, and I even had my little ready to go to be excused from work. And I called the Friday before I was supposed to go in, and the lady told me it had been canceled. So here I am, 49, going on 50 in February. Still have not been on a jury. Would love to someday. My late father was on a jury a few times. My sister's former husband was on a jury also. But little old me, nope. And so I've learned a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be on a jury, pretend you don't. Give whatever answers you want that makes it sound like you don't want to serve. Keep looking at your watch. Keep fidgeting, doodling, or whatever. But if you act like you don't want to serve, chances are pretty good they'll pick you. If you want to serve, act like you don't. And if you don't want to serve, act like you do. Act like you're super gung-ho. I can't wait to give justice. This will be my time to finally serve. You'll definitely scare off one of the attorneys and they'll have you dismissed with cause, I can imagine. And of course, the old little reliable standby. If you don't want to serve and you're desperate and somehow it's a criminal case, have fun when they ask you what you think about the death penalty. Tell them that you think the death penalty is too humane. People should have to suffer. Lethal injection is too easy. People should be death by firing squad, death by being eaten by a python snake, death by being forced to watch Trevor Noah or the Golden Girls 24 hours a day. Just anything like that. So that's been my experiences. And besides being in a jury pool, it also confirmed for me I would never make it as an attorney, because one attorney friend says you've got to be able to read quickly, comprehensively. You got to read 200 pages in one night of incredibly boring case law and be able to intelligently discuss it the next day. So I definitely am not an attorney material. It would be fun to play one in a play or something someday, or I would even love to play a juror in 12 Angry Men, but we'll see what happens. So that's me, Richard Zowie, talking about being on a jury and what it's like and my experiences. If you have any comments, feel free to send me an email from a2zowie@gmail.com. That's from a2zowie@gmail.com. From A2 Zulu Oscar Whiskey India Echo @gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and if you like what you see, I'll be loading this up onto YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button. Y'all have a good night.